Hi everyone, Christine Harrington here with Eternal Life Plan. Just an update. I've had lots of people ask me how this group got started, this Black Lives Matter group. How did they get started? That's located in Carmel, Indiana, that has unfairly targeted a good and holy priest, Father Theodore Rothrock. And I'm actually going to make a video about it because it's an interesting story in the fact that the leader of the group was offended and hurt because one of her yard signs had been damaged that she put out in support of Black Lives Matter. 2 nights in a row it had been vandalized, so that deeply offended her and deeply hurt her. You know, in my lifetime, and actually I really feel sorry for this leader because, you know, Jesus didn't say our life was going to be easy. Jesus didn't say our life was going to be fair. And life isn't fair. If you live beyond 24 years old, you know that life is not fair. And there's a lot of evil in the world. And the evilness and the injustice is not going to go away until Jesus comes again. Satan prowls this earth. And we as Catholics, we know this because how many times during our Catholic lives we've been persecuted just because we're Catholic. I know, I can't name how many times that as a kid I was made fun of. I was called mackerel snapper because I was Catholic. And I remember one time I came home and I was telling my dad, you know, well, the neighborhood kids are calling me mackerel snappers. And my dad kind of laughed and said, well, tell them we don't eat mackerel, we eat tuna. And then he said to me, honey, if that's the worst thing you get called in your lifetime, then you're very fortunate. Life is rough. Now, does that mean that we should accept injustices? No, I'm not accepting this injustice that they have been attacking Father Ted Rothrock. It's wrong. And they're using it to lift their agenda. But as a pro-life speaker, oh my gosh, have I been harassed and even threats, death threats, because of my position that I stand for life. I've had many bumper stickers on my car supporting pro-life over the years. And one bumper sticker, every time I put it on, it'd get ripped off. I put it on, it'd get ripped off. I put it on, it'd get ripped off. Well, one time I put on a bumper sticker that couldn't be ripped off. And so what did somebody do? They spray painted over the bumper sticker. Now, of course, it vandalized my car, but I didn't take it to the press, and I didn't try to make a mountain out of a molehill. It's going to happen whenever you stand up for controversial issues. You know, this is going to happen, but I don't make a broad sweep that everybody in my community must be pro-choice but me. Yet that's what's happened in Carmel with this young leader who saw this as Carmel having a racist issue and that everybody in Carmel must be racist. Well, that's not true. It could have been high school prank as well. I mean, who knows? So you have to be real careful when you start going down that rabbit hole, when anybody opposes you or anybody disagrees with you, you know, even in a harsh way. Everybody has a right to their opinion. Everybody has their right to free speech. And that's why when these things happen to me at pro-life, my initial reaction was not to cry, not to get upset, not to take it personally, not to make it more than what it was. I thought, gee, I've triggered somebody and they're hurt and they lashed out at me. And that's the way I perceived it. So, like I said, you got to be careful. And I'm going to go more into this in a much deeper video. I'll probably post it either Saturday or Monday. I'm sorry, either Sunday or Monday. But I can go through my lifetime and tell you, how I've been ridiculed and harassed and laughed at, and even by this group, But I expected it because it's been clear that their words and actions don't match. So I knew what would happen. I kind of surmised what would happen, and they did exactly what I thought they would do: try to dismiss me and shut me down. And for Father Ted Rothrock to be treated the way he's being treated, it's evil. Now, I know they don't think that. I know they've been praising God, and they've been, on their posts, they've been saying, bless you. It's my understanding they're not Catholic and they're not Christians. So I don't know where that's coming from, but they're clearly not doing God's work. They're clearly doing Satan's work, because Father Rothrock, if they even tried to really get to know the man before they started this attack, they would know all of his good works. And attacking a man over 3 words, I think, is very unjust. You can draw your own opinion, and if you don't agree with me, that's fine. I'm not going to start a crusade against you because you don't agree with me. I actually allow people their opinions when they want to have an open discussion. But you can look at the comments on my Facebook page and on my YouTube channel, Eternal Life Plan, the kind of comments that were put on there. Clearly, none of these people that said all the negative things they said about me were open to a dialogue. They were attacking me. And I expected that some of their minions would come to my channel and come to my page to attack me, because they've been all over my business page. So we need to pray for this group. We need to pray for the leaders, because they clearly are not mentally tough. They clearly are easily offended, and they have not developed within them a discernment to really understand what racial injustice is. They have said nothing about all of the babies that are Black that are being aborted in this country. My platform is a pro-life platform. 40% of the abortions that are happening in the United States are from the Black community. That is a real injustice. I'm not sure why they're not making any comments on that, or why they're not trying to do something to help Black women that are in crisis pregnancy. Like all of the organizations I belong to, they're trying to help the Black community. So their focus is on all the whites in Carmel are racist. Well, why don't you focus on the real tragedies going on in the Black community instead of this white on white racism that you're targeting? I mean, that you're not going to sway people out of their belief systems. You're just not going to. And I don't believe for a second there's all this racism going on in Carmel. I've got lots of friends in Carmel, and not one of them is racist. Oh, that's right. I'm not supposed to say that. I was told that even if I say I have black friends, that in itself is racism. Unbelievable. If you're looking for any kind of evidence to support your cause, you can find it in just about anything you look for. You can twist it around like they twisted Father Ted Rothrock's words. He was trying to protect his parish, his parishioners, and have them actually look at what Black Lives Matter stands for, the organization. He was not referring to the race. And that's the other misunderstanding. I did a social experiment I asked a question on social media to my followers, some of my followers that were willing to participate. What did the phrase Black Lives Matter mean to them? So 97% said the organization, only 3% said the race. So when people use the phrase or the branding Black Lives Matter, they're thinking the organization, not the race. Of course, we all know the black race matters just as much as the Asian race, just as much as the Hispanic race, just as much as the white race, just as much as any race out there. We know all lives matter, but our priests matter too. And I started a new initiative, a new movement called #ROUR priests. And you know how to spell priests. Our priests matter. #Our priests matter. So that's it for today. And look for my video. I'll let you know when it's up. And Church Militant was in town for 2 days, and they interviewed, I think, about a dozen Catholics. They had to turn just a ton of them away. They got way over hundreds of emails about Father Rothrock and people that are wanting to come and interview about Father Rothrock. I mean, William told me they were overwhelmed with all the emails and support. So Church Militant interviewed me Thursday morning. I don't know if I'm going to end up in the clip or not because they had so many people they had already interviewed. So I don't know if I'll end up in the clip or not. But once it is posted, it's supposed to be, I think they said Monday or Tuesday of next week it should come out. So I'll be sure and post it on my Eternal Life Plan page. Okay? Alrighty. Bye-bye, everyone. And God bless you. And pray for this Black Lives Matter group in Carmel. And pray for Father Ted Rothrock as well. And the bishop. And the parishioners of St. Elizabeth Seton. Heck, pray for us all. Bye-bye.